Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And now, last race was a Baku. We come in second place. Now we're going to Baku City Circuit for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We're racing at the second street road course. So we'll off the street road course.
With the drivers currently lining up on the grid, it's almost time to begin today's race event here. We're on the winding streets of Baku. Baku City Circuit then, an unpredictable 3.7-mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season.
20 turns.
Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. And it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn one. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position.
Starts on
Lewis
the pole.
Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Perez,
and last year's Baku winner, Sergio
Leclerc,
Perez,
Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, and Daniel Ricciardo, Gasly, Vettel, Carlos Sainz, and Norris, Giovinazzi, Mazepin, George Russell, and Nicholas Latifi, Raikkonen, and Mick Schumacher.
With 2020 Formula 2 champion Mick Schumacher.
5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
We're racing here at Baku. Let's take a look at where we load our setup really quick, because we're in Baku now, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Let's go start the race, but we start in second place. Lights are gonna come on. All 5 red lights are on. And we are racing at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It's underway. It's Verstappen. Here comes Perez. Oh, and into the back of us. And then we go into the wall, and Perez hits me into the back right here. And it's going to be our first flashback. One flashback. Here comes Perez, and looks like it will pass me into P3. And we're going 3 wide into turn 1 for second place. Perez trying to get into the back of my gear, and his boat is out in front. Oh, it's so close to the wall. I think I have to lift it far early, and we'll let Botus go out in front. Botus out in front of us. Coming to the braking to turn 3. So Verstappen now moves up into third place, into P3, heading into turn 4. And we'll back off a little early into turn 5. We'll let Botus stay out in front into the bus stop chicane. As we're ready to come to the braking and to turn 7 into the inside on Valtteri Bottas. Like we got the job done into P1. Now we're up into P1. Up past the castle, 8 and 9 and 10. And now we're ahead of our teammate Valtteri Bottas. Now next for the curves, where you got? Now we're 1.2 the gap to Bottas behind P2. And we go quickest in sector 2. Now into turn 16, now turn 17, 19, 19. Oh, right there, we're past our last little crash right here. Now turn 20. Oh, sorry, where Verstappen crashed. Right there, just over there. I see where Verstappen crashed, right there. Down the line, and we are 2 laps remaining. 1:47.1 with a fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Now into turn 1. Right there, we had Lewis Hamilton locked up, and then missed the brake in turn 1. Now into turn 2. Now coming to braking into turn 3. Now into turn 4. 3.9 now the gap to Valtteri Bottas behind P2. Fastest through the first sector than anybody. Into the bus stop chicane, turn 5 and 6. Now into the heavy braking zone into turn 7. Here we go to 8, 9, and 10. Going out past the castle. Now turn 11. Going to turn 12, now to 13. Coming to 14. And 15. Now into turn 16. Here we go. Fastest again, sector 2 than anybody. In turn 16, now into turn 17. 8, turn 18, and turn 19. And now the final turn into turn 20. Now we're 5.1 the gap, Bottas behind B2. Now onto the final lap. We're on the final lap of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. 141.5, another faster lap of the Grand Prix. And DRS is, and we have DRS now enabled into turn 1. Now coming to turn number 2. Max Verstappen gets the job done into P3, and Perez stays ahead of him as they try DRS, but Perez stays out in front. Now Verstappen gets the job done into P3, but Perez gets back ahead and stays out in front. Verstappen now up into P3. We're going to turn 3 and 4. Now coming into turn 5 and 6 at the bus stop chicane. Look at them go, is he? Now into the braking zone to turn 7. And now at turn 8, 9, and 10. Coming up past the castle. Now turn 11 with 7.6 now the gap to Valtteri Bottas behind P2. Now turn 13 heading to breaking to 14, 15. Right there where Kimi pushed Ocon into the wall. Now turn 16. Now coming to turn 17. Now it's coming to turn 18 and 19. 8.6 now the gap coming to turn 20. And now to see the checker flag and win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Superb driving. That's
nice.
The race win.
And yes, we win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And another Lewis Hamilton, another driver of the day. And we are now the driver and Lewis Hamilton driver of the day.
Then it's victory in Azerbaijan. Great work from the whole team here at the track and back at the factory as well. And some pretty handy driving for good measure. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result?
Hey, thank you, Valtteri.
Well, I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on the track was today, the speed. I know it sounds like an obvious thing to say, Crofty, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Nice.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
Yes, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix trophy. Here we go. And time for the champagne again. Here we go. No, Valtteri, don't get me. I'm your teammate. No. Ah, you got me down the back.
It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
It's got to be Lewis Hamilton. I mean, he pulled off some impressive feats out on the track today, even by his standards.
Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Alright, Lewis Hamilton wins, which is me, with 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Taking detail fast lap of the race, 1:41.5 with boundary bonus. Comes home in second for P1, P2 finish for Mercedes and Max Verstappen. And Max Verstappen will round up the podium with Sergio Perez coming home in 4th place. With P3, P4 finish for Red Bull, with Lance Stroll comes home in 5th, with Charles Leclerc 6th. Yuki Tsunoda will finish in 7th, with Daniel Ricciardo in 8th, Fernando Alonso in 9th, and Pierre Gasly rounds up the top 10. Esteban Ocon comes in at 11th, with Sebastian Vettel 12th, Lando Norris 13th, with Carlos Sainz 14th, Antonio Giovinazzi 15th, with Nick Latifi 16th, George Russell 17th, Kimi Räikkönen 18th, Nikita Mazepin 19th, and Mick Schumacher, the 2020 Formula 2 champion, finishes in 20th in last place. Guy retirement, so we can look at the standings. We're on the lead, 149-point lead over Max Verstappen. As Stroll moved up into 5th, Yuki will move up. Now he is now up to 32, but now moves up, and now Stroll and Yuki are now tied. So they are now tied for 5th as the line out. And the constructors, as Leclerc moved up into 10th now. Daniel Ricciardo down into 11th. So we got Sainz down into 7th, Lando Norris down into 8th, and Ocon down into 9th. For the constructors standings, Mercedes continue on top, 232 over Red Bull as Esteban moved up into 6th with 38 points back. Airplane now down into 7th, and that's your race here at Baku City. And next stop, we have to go to Serval-G-Vert for the Canyon Grand Prix. So, and I'll see you at Serval-G-Vert for the Canyon Grand Prix.